So the Sims, generally speaking, the reason I say this is dirty, okay, is because you have the Sims. You get the Sims, you get the Atlanta, you get the Flint to go behind the Sims. As soon as the Sims detects an enemy, or the Flint Atlanta get detected first, which is unusual but could happen, the Sims pops a smoke. These two ships are in that smoke. They can shoot at whatever the Sims is spotting, and the Flint can re-smoke the group, and Sithkitten can radar if there's an enemy destroyer close enough to that radar range. That's how these divisions work. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand the theory behind it. Okay. Robloxia now saying spotting range is 9.6 kilometer. And what are you doing? What are you trying to do with that, Robloxia?
I was trying to tell them what my detectability range was.
For what reason?
Just general information.
Okay.
I don't know what the lowest you can get the Flint's detectability range down to.
So the reason I'm bringing that up is because Kitten probably doesn't understand what you mean by saying that, and Papa Smurf may or may not know what that means either. I believe what you're trying to do is tell Papa Smurf how close to stay to you, because what Papa Smurf can do is look at his own concealment, subtract your concealment, and that's the distance that you need to be behind him. Right? But if you're playing with people that don't know that kind of stuff, if you're not in voice comms, what you said could be a little disorienting. And
we're in voice comms as well.
Okay, so
Island
then that helps.
98070 just resubscribed for 23 months. Has the new PC caught fire yet?
Island Cat, thank you so much for the resub, dude. Almost on 2 freaking years, guys. 2 freaking years. My PC has not caught fire yet. Papa Smurf says, I'm a moron, I don't know Jack. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because in my experience, where I might call out like a Shimakaze, what's the Shimakaze using, stuff like that, I might get teammates that don't understand what's the big deal about that, right? Why that's significant. A Shimakaze using 20-kilometer torpedoes will probably sit farther away than a Shimakaze using 12s, right? Generally speaking. Those 20-kilometer torps are easier to spot too, so they're a little bit easier to move around. They can still do bad things. Oh boy. Let's watch.
Oh, that poor Moss.
Mm-hmm. This is good. You had the feeling that he was there, so you had... Yep, okay. So you had him hold there, and that was a good play right there. Now, Sithkitten is not in the smoke. She needs to be in the smoke. So anyway, so that's what I was talking about earlier. I picked the Flint because the Flint is a coal ship. We were talking about coal ships last week on the Zath Chat segment there. So you guys can get an idea of what you have available to you. She's got 6 turrets. They're dual turrets, so 12 guns total. You guys were mentioning that in chat, I saw. The Atlanta actually has 7 turrets. It's got 1 additional turret on each waist, so it can fire a broadside of 14 shells instead of 12. In my experience, that's not that big of a difference. Oh, good. Okay, so Sith radaring, that's perfect. See, so this is demonstrating why this division is so damn dirty. Now, I would have liked to have seen you luck chuck torps down that channel. Papa Smurf is doing it, but you can do it too. Because your torpedoes reach 9.2 kilometers. Atlanta's only are 4.5. Your hydro is off. If Kitten is running hydro instead of defensive fire, now is when you would ask her for hydro. This smoke blob needs to be defended, essentially, is what I'm getting at. You're in a bottom tier match, so it's also a bit of a risk sitting in this area. Here's what I was talking about with the Sims smoking the first smoke, and then now you're able to give the smoke back. But Kitten is going to be outside of that smoke area, so that was a bit of a communication fail right there with her. So in general, in a division like this, You want to make sure that both ships are in that smoke screen. You weren't aware she was probably going to move up. You probably expected her to back up for Bloxine. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was trying to get her to come closer to me, but
Right. And it didn't work. Now, the thing is, she moved out, sure, but even with your smoke up, you notice you pretty much have nobody to shoot. Maybe the Scharnhorst if you back up far enough and he pushes forward far enough, but that's about it. So I would say this smoke here was probably a little bit wasted. It might have been a better idea to try to maneuver. You saw Papa Smurf out there in the Sims spotting. We didn't see any targets, so that might have been an opportunity for you to decide to start moving out with Papa Smurf instead, and then keep your radar available for when you know it's going to be needed. You expected the Skun to push, and he didn't. Sure. Why would you push against a Flint and Alaska division with the Sims? That is certain death for any destroyer. So I would not
found out.
I'm sorry, say it again?
So like the Moss found out
Exactly
at the
right.
beginning of the match.
Exactly right. So as a result, I totally get that the Scone is not going to chase after you guys. There's no reason for that. Now, unfortunately, Kitten got herself detected and she's starting to shoot. And here's where I think the problem comes into play. One, she shouldn't be shooting. Two, because you used your smoke earlier, you can't come to her and save her from dying.
Snowback35 just subscribed.
Snowback, thank you very much for the sub.
Stop shooting because I said perhaps you should go dark.
Yes.
Try going dark.
Yes, I see that. Guys, I'm gonna give away set up a giveaway here for a CC container, in courtesy of Snowback subscription as well as Island Cat supporting for over almost 2 years now. You came back to smoke him there, yeah. But you know you're pretty much apart from Sithkitten again, and that makes Papa Smurf's job much more difficult to get to both Sithkitten and to you as well. So I would like to see you guys be tighter in formation here. If Sithkitten is making her decisions and you're not able to get her to do what you're trying to get to happen, then you need to get closer to her.
Big 3 is now following.
Hey, Big D3, thank you very much for the follow.
I get myself spotted, by the way.
Well, yes, but it very well might mean, like, if you look at her health, she's at 40%, you're at 100%, you can probably take a hit or two. I know you don't want it, but the idea is to support your division mate and your teammate, and try to get in close. Now, she's continuing to back up, and unfortunately, because of that, she's probably not going to be able to take advantage of that smoke. We'll see. Think back to if you were watching me play that ranked battle, that very last ranked battle. Oh, Smurf's gonna eat all those stores for you? One. Think about that that ranked battle, that last one I played. I said, I want to go to A to support the team at A, but I can't leave my wingman behind. That Asashio was my wingman, and together the two of us killed all 7 enemies on the enemy team. Okay? Why? Because of teamwork.
With that torpedo, by the way, I was not expecting to move forward there, so
Yep.
I was like, don't come. Oh, wait, too late.
Right. And it doesn't.
A bit of communication error there.
Sure. And you know what? It doesn't matter anymore because with the fact that team damage doesn't count anymore, who cares? Luck chuck him. If it hits your friend, oh well, that's one less torpedo that you can possibly hit somebody with. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, we're sort of laughing about that.
Mm-hmm. Now, Kitten came into the smoke. Good. She's protected, and now you can always smoke the two of you guys up again as needed. Unfortunately, the Strasbourg has turned away. You might be able to back up and get a few more shots on him. What I like to do here, Rob, is I like to just hold down left mouse button and shoot, because that gives me the ability to look around at other things and not be concentrating on when I can shoot my next volley of shells. Does that make sense? I like the turn here. You're trying to get your torpedoes on the Scharnhorst. You should be thinking that the Scharnhorst is probably going to torpedo your smoke blob as well. And I might
Yeah,
go.
I was thinking about that as well as why I was also sort of turning to throw off any potential torpedoes from him as well.
Yep. Now, by turning, you also make yourself a bigger target to those torpedoes, so you have to keep that in mind. Oh, and smoke firing is a thing. So you have to keep
Yeah.
that in mind too. Now he sees you, he knows you probably torped him, and you see him turning and slowing and turning in, and that's going to get Nightmare. I will tell you in just 1 second. You ended the match, but look at what was coming your way. So that could have been a real big problem for you. That was
Yeah,
good
I
though.
actually, when I was playing the match, I never noticed those torpedoes.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until you pointed them out that I realized that those are even there. I'm like,
Sure. Sure.
and they,
Any,
and I mean, holding down the middle like that in a Flint is also somewhat risky.
yes, but I mean, when you're with a destroyer who's spotting for you, who's smoking for you guys, you're with an Atlanta who can back you up with firepower and can radar things, nobody's going to want to go to you, right? So going into the center there limits the enemy team's movement. It forces them to run away from you. And if they get too close, obviously, well, you just farm them down. So that's that's all that is. You know what I mean? Okay. Any other questions you wanted to ask about, Rob?
Not really.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks for sending that replay in. That was awesome. If it's stupid but it works, damn right, Papa. I would say if it's stupid but it works, find out why it's stupid, and more importantly, find out why it worked.